Year Walk is a kind of puzzle story game by Swedish developers Simogo. It's a kind of game where you really need a lot of time and patience and a quiet place where you can just sit down and really devote some time to nutting out this cryptic tale. You're about to embark on your first Year Walk, a magical and ancient practice performed by generations past in order to unlock the secrets of the future.
You'll need to have a pen and paper with you to jot down everything you come across by way of landmarks, symbols and patterns, because every little marking or animation you see is a clue to unlocking the next area.
You navigate the snowy landscape with simple swipes left and right, and a little white glowing mark at the top or bottom of the screen indicates when you can go up or down. A mysterious woman in a windmill, an eerie haunting sensation, and creepy flashes of horror will be intriguing enough to have you hooked on figuring out this story.
At first I found myself getting frustrated with this because after the first few encounters I was just going around in circles. Losing my patience a little bit. But once you settle into that puzzle mind frame, you realise that you do need to be honing in on all those little details. And the more you do, the darker the story gets.
In addition to the game, you can also download the free companion app. But it doesn't initially appear to do a whole lot to help you apart from provide extra lore linked to the symbols you see and the characters you meet. But then there's a locked section on it that requires a passcode, and I knew I couldn't put this down until I figured out what that was about. What's in there? What's that about?
You actually find yourself locked out at every turn. Locked gates, strange locked boxes. So you set about the task of finding the keys and codes required to access these secrets. And through this, you'll start to piece together the haunting fragments of these Scandinavian mythical tales.
Yes, and all of a sudden the information in your companion app is a little bit more relevant, and yet nothing is glaringly obvious, which is good. In addition to keeping notes on what you see, I also found it helpful to record my path through the forest. Because while you can use certain landmarks to help guide your way, it's so easy to get lost and turned around.
You can imagine that year walking would actually be a bit like that, walking around in a confused mess. But there's a wonderful subtlety to this game. It gives you just enough to pique your interest and make you wonder, but then it makes it quite tricky for you to get to its core.
The art and sound design are appropriately chilling too, aren't they? And I just love a developer that uses a game as a medium to share a story like this. I mean, I had no idea what year walking was, but what a great way to learn about a culture's mythology. In the end, I found the idea of having a companion app quite clever. It's kind of like having an adventurer's notebook with you to reference, but also with secrets to unlock of its own.
This game does require a bit of patience, and it's not for everyone, but I like how different it is. I'm giving it 7.
Yeah, I really thought that this reminded me of a PC game we reviewed a while back called Anna. It had that similar kind of pagan, spooky theme to it. This is much shorter, but still an interesting and very unique experience that's perfect for tablet, so I'm giving it 7.5.
Now, when the National Broadband Network was first announced, we were promised a bigger, better and faster internet.
Yet 4 years on, it's still a pipe dream for some, but not all. Goose investigates.